I used to live in Essex, my best friend, her grandfather was the manager at the Odeon Cinema in Romford. And so when these are various...
Oh my goodness, so blessed for this topic. But if you want to follow along with this, we got 3 lines here that are 3 centimeters apart, so 6 centimeters top to bottom. Again, if you want to follow along. But I wanted you to see there's a certain amount of space above and a considerable amount of space below. That's where her shoulders are going to go, if you want to set up your page just this way. But I'm going to zoom in now on these lines so that we can get into drawing the facial features. Okay, well, before we get underway, I should probably put up the time-lapse warning. There's going to be a lot of time-lapse in this video. I'll do my best to do real-time whenever possible. But let's begin by putting down some basic guidelines for the eye.
I actually sent off for that one, but you know, I did have a friend who...
Okay, so the first thing I noticed when sort of studying the eyes was that the outside edge of the eye, the corner of it is much higher than the inside part of the tear duct. So that's something you want to pay attention to. The space between them, also important. The location in relation to this line, just a touch above it. It's a shame that it doesn't end up... this line is her hairline, and this line down here is the chin. But if you can get the eyes just a tiny bit above, that'll help you get the size of that right. And, otherwise, yeah, you can start to see that one of the eyebrows is sloping in a different direction. That's going to give her slightly sly, mischievous kind of a look later on in the drawing. Let's go ahead and draw the nose. Okay, so here are some of the lines of the nose, and in actuality, when we get to finishing it up, it's going to be considerably more detailed than this. But notice that it's a little closer to this line than it is to that lower line, and the mouth, unfortunately, is going to come more or less right in the middle. Let's go ahead and draw that. Okay, so here's the mouth, you know, including the lips, and one thing I noticed as I was studying her face is that the lips are really quite thin. Notice the nose, how the nose is kind of positioned with the tear duct of this one eye, comes straight down, and you kind of move over a little bit to the center area of the lips. And so hopefully those tips will help you in doing this drawing. Now we come to the hardest part of all, and that is to draw this one line that comes down along the chin. So let me go ahead and draw that to the best of my abilities. Now come back and give you some tips. Okay, well, you can see the line of the cheek, really quite a complex one, and I can't get anything in terms of a trick for doing it, except to pay attention to, you know, the sort of double curve structure here and how it nearly touches this eye, comes quite close to the mouth, and that'll help you get that where it needs to be. You know, I started to indicate that here over here. But what I want to do now in real time is start to get into some of the details of the eyes. And first thing I'm going to do is add some darker eyelashes up here on the top. Now, as I studied the illustrations, and I should say that, you know, what I'm trying to emulate here are these computer graphics illustrations that you see, like, on the posters and stuff for Frozen, and that's why there's going to be a lot of time lapse in this video, because when we try to emulate CG with the human hand, it just takes you a long time, because those illustrations are very smooth. Now, I noticed in a way that I hadn't when I was watching the movie, that her upper eyelashes are very thick, very tightly packed. So I don't know.
Bye.
False eyelashes. How dare you accuse her of false eyelashes? No, she naturally was born beautifully fake eyelashes. And, as is so often the case, the lower eyelashes are not nearly as thick. So I'm just going to put some lighter indications. I do apologize that I can't zoom in any closer than this. I really wish I could. Camera starts to go out of focus. Another thing that I noticed as I studied these eyes was the size of the pupils, really large. And in a way, you know, doing this video to me was an interesting prospect, because I wanted to compare the Disney facial style with that of, you know, a lot of manga illustrations that I see. And, you know, what are the differences? What makes this different? And, you know, these round, the perfectly round irises, these gigantic pupils, that might be something that's a little different from, not all manga, but quite a number of them. And then we're going to get this extra line in here for the fold of the upper eyelid. I think this is particularly important with the character of Elsa, who is, she has this, I keep coming back to the word slide, which I don't think is the best one, but anyway, she has this very confident look, and I think that is assisted by slightly heavy looking eyelids. Makes her look a little more grown up, a little more sophisticated. Eyelashes look over on this. I hadn't noticed this before about this, the area where the tear duct should be. And so as I looked at the Disney style, I noticed that while they did continue that line there, they do very much not draw a little pink dot here where the tear duct is. So it seems that they are in agreement. The Disney people and the manga anime people that draw a little pink fleshy area of the tear duct. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Although people historically will point out the original manga inspiration was. Anyway, I'm getting that in there, and like I said, I'm not going to be able to do loads and loads of real time in this video, but I felt that people who wanted to draw Elsa certainly would want to draw her facial features first and foremost. So I wanted to slow down here a little and kind of walk you through. Okay, so these are just the very basic indications of her hair. We're going to build on top of this. Her hair, when we get to the coloring, is really going to be what defines it. Lines of the interior of the ear to any degree at all. I have another video that talks about drawing braids. I think I'm going to leave it to that video if you want to learn how to draw braids. I'll put a link in the info box. That video really does take you through in a line-by-line way. I'm going to have to speed through this one so we can get on to the coloring. But let's go ahead and finish off the basic guidelines of the braid. Alright, so that sort of finishes off the pencil line part of the video. And I'm going to move on into, and we're going to do the eyes and a little bit of the mascara. Fade up, and then they begin to really start curving outward. In my attempt to emulate the CG. You don't want to fill in this whole area with pink. It's strip of paint that very quickly fades into the rest. Yeah, there you go. So that lightened that up a bit. I don't know if that seems like such a dramatic thing, but that's going to help. So what's going on there? Is she dyeing her hair, or is she dyeing her... Which, as I said, mostly involves colored pencils. So you're going to see me gradually build up some tone here.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Bangor.
Alright, well there's my video on how to draw Elsa. Sorry I had to do all of the coloring in time-lapse, but let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see me do a video that focuses exclusively on shading the hair and the skin and so forth. I would be happy to do that for you. But for now, let me thank anyone who has supported me by getting any of